Alrighty. All right. So we are here again with our next episode of the podcast, and this is the culmination of everything that we've been working towards, the dating podcast, part 1. All right, so let's go around and let's do some introductions. All this is if you feel comfortable, by the way. So like, if you don't feel the need to answer a certain question, don't answer it. Nobody will pressure you. But I got name, major, year. I think I meant how old you are, sexuality, and number of relationships you've been in. And all this will be pertinent for our talk. So my name is Ethan. I'm an education major, first year grad student, 23, sexuality straight, number of relationships I've been in, 1.5. And we're going to talk about the 0.5s after.
Oh, okay, so my turn. Hi, my name is Nora. I'm a first year. I'm 19. I'm straight, yeah. I've been in 0 relationships. I would still say 0, yeah.
But that's a very hesitant 0.
Well, 0.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Paul. What was it? Age, I think. I'm an MCDB major.
Oh, we're supposed to say
something biology. That's what it stands for. I'm 20. I'm straight. What was the last one? Number of relationships? No, 0.
Let's go.
Okay, my name is Patricia. I am 21, and I am a computational biology major at UCLA. And I have been in one serious relationship. That was 3 months.
Wait, okay. Is anybody here currently dating?
No.
Okay. So nobody to offend. Just kidding. Okay. Yeah. So I think this is like really important of a topic to cover, just because we all identify as Asian American, and
I forgot to say sexuality. I'm
Oh,
straight
okay.
as well. Sorry.
yeah. No,
Wait,
yeah.
did Paul say sexuality?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so I just think it's important to like break the discourse around like, you know, relationships are taboo, or like, you know, especially with like Asian parents, like, you know, no dating till you're married type thing, and we're just trying to, you know, dispel all those myths and talk about our experiences. But to do that, we need to start with terminology. Yes. So there's a lot of different terms when it comes to dating. I use the term pre-dating, which is like the chase phase, like when you're not dating, but like there's interest displayed, and then there's dating, which is like when you're seeing somebody.
I have a question for pre-dating. Does it have to be from one person, from 2 people, or as long as someone identified as like chasing someone, or someone identified as being chased, then that counts as pre-dating?
I call the whole thing pre-dating. So like whether it works out or not, I think that's like a pre-dating stage. But that's how I define it. So we'll talk about our definitions and where we differ. And then dating is like when you're seeing somebody, right? But it's not exclusive. And I think like courting is like this like serious relationship.
Okay,
thing.
Bridgerton.
Yeah, but
Courting.
if y'all disagree with me, you know, I'd love to hear your opinions on like the verbiage. But all this is just to make sure that we're on the same page when we talk about dating.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody have any thoughts? Anybody disagree?
Oh,
with
that's
me?
the end of the terminology?
For him.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any other terms you want to throw in there, throw it.
I feel like I disagree with a lot of them, just because. Okay. Just taking as an example, I think America is a very interesting country. As in, you say you go on a date, but then you don't have to be coupling with someone. So you're just like seeing this person, getting to know that person in a romantic setting. Whereas you are dating someone means that you are seeing this person exclusively. So that would be my definition.
So you would say seeing instead of courting is the only difference that you can make?
Like seeing and dating is different. That would be my definition.
Well, no, I agree with you. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah,
then,
he
right?
basically put seeing as courting. Like, you're, like, with a person.
No, but he said she said dating is not exclusive.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, I said it's
Oh,
exclusive.
no, yeah.
Wait,
I also assume that dating's exclusive automatically.
So
I
there's-
feel like that's a thing, you know, some people, they're like, oh, I'm dating, but then they're like seeing other people as well.
Yeah, you would say
exactly.
that, like, I'm in, like, an open relationship or something.
No,
like
open
that.
relationship
I
is different.
agree.
Open relationship is different. Open relationship is when there's communication. Like if I'm dating somebody, I can be seeing other people.
So
like,
then,
not
if you're
telling,
seeing other
right?
people and you're dating somebody, no, that means you're
I
just
feel like
cheating.
the kind of
That means you're cheating on the.
No.
What?
Wait. Going back to like courting and like seeing somebody. If I'm seeing somebody and I go on a date with another person, that's cheating. But if I'm just dating,
seeing means you're not together yet. Seeing means that you're like on a couple dates, like maybe
Yeah,
you're getting to know
seeing
each
is,
other,
like,
you're
kinda
talking,
casual.
right? But if you're dating, then I would say we're exclusive.
Okay, all right. I think my
Yeah.
version, my definition of dating is your guys' definition of seeing.
Oh.
Huh?
Okay, we'll fix your definition.
Okay,
Majority
okay.
rules.
Yeah,
Okay.
we all agree. Sorry.
No. Okay, so in this for this podcast, we're gonna define pre-dating as like nobody has expressed interest explicitly yet. We're gonna define what?
I thought you said people like express interest.
Not explicitly. So like
No, I
not
think you
not
mean
like
like-
I like you. Let's like go on a date.
Like the flirting.
Yeah,
stage?
yeah. Oh yeah,
So
yeah, sure,
the
sure, sure.
chasing part.
Yeah, the chase,
That
the
is
flirt, whatever.
interest.
Okay, we need
Just
a set
not
terminology.
explicit.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
so I said not explicitly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So okay, what terms are we using? Okay, so we're using pre-dating. For that general stage, we're using seeing for like when you go on a date and
To
it's
get to know
yeah, it's
people.
made known that it's a date, but it's not like nothing exclusive. And then dating, we're saying is exclusivity.
Yeah, so basically the difference between seeing and dating, seeing is more like no string attached.
Okay, yeah.
Not exactly, but like there's no like obligation.
Yeah. Okay.
And then dating is there's some sort of responsibility in there.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, well, I guess I have to change the verbiage of my questions, but yeah. So let's talk about the pre-dating experience before we even get into the dating experience. Let's talk about discovering our sexualities.
Are we all straight?
Yeah.
Was there much discovery?
So do you feel like when you're straight, there's not a discovery process?
Okay, I can talk a little bit.
Yeah.
So like in my high school, there are a lot of this like sexuality tests. So people actually like take them on their phone. And then they actually kind of like treat it pretty seriously. It's just like if they got a pretty high level of like homosexuality level, then they will like actually try to explore their interests. But I would say in Taiwan, where I grew up from, there is a really bad stigmatization against like homosexuality or people that are not straight, which I don't really agree with. And it's to the extent when you're not mature enough, some people yell at another children, be like, "Oh, you look so gay." Oh, like these are like really rude. Like it's not acceptable to be said in America, but yeah, those are just like. So I think that might contribute to some people not willing to explore their sexuality. But I feel like okay, I did the test. I am pretty straight, and like yeah. So it's like yeah, that's like the discovery process for me. Not too much.
That just reminds me of like the rice purity test, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Anybody else have anything to say about the?
I'm googling gay test right now. Okay, WikiHow am I gay quiz start quiz.
It's not WikiHow. It's like official,
WikiHow?
right? Is it like
Damn.
official?
Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5
Okay,
minutes. I
okay.
got this.
Okay. Well, I can say for myself, like
Are we taking this long? Oh fuck! I'm on
Sorry.
12%.
have to.
yeah, I can say for myself, there wasn't much of like a discovering of sexuality so much as it was like, or I guess you could call it that. But it was basically like I started like liking girls at a very young age, meaning like I was like, oh, like I want to like get these people's attention, but I don't know how, so I'm gonna throw rocks at them and stuff. So like yeah, yeah. So like I think at age like 6, I was like pulling on girls' hairs. On age like 9, I was like throwing rocks at girls. You know, like
Oh, so you're just mean. Oh.
yeah. I'm not saying that like it's acceptable, but I'm saying like I wanted to get girls' attention. I didn't know how, and that was my way of like getting girls' attention. And I never felt that way like about a guy. Like I never felt the need to like throw a rock at a guy or like and
That's interesting.
yeah. So like I think for me the exploration was more so like what do I do with this interest, and how does it manifest itself positively? Because a lot of people stopped talking to me because I threw rocks at them, which is which is understandable. But yeah. Paul, you have anything to contribute?
I think that the thing with me is that I was very, very academically focused all the way up until like the end of high school, which is when I like started loosening up. But like I never really like chased a girl until like college, I guess. Yeah, it was like that 4.0, gotta maintain it.
So like, was it like you actively said I'm not gonna pursue it, or like you just were never interested in like?
Oh,
girls?
I actively said like,
Okay.
like I need to worry about my grades.
Yeah.
Which in retrospect I kind of regret, but like whatever,
Yeah.
We roll with the punches.
I see. Cool. Yeah. So I think this like ties a lot into like representation, especially like when it comes to, I mean, we're all straight, but like especially when it comes to like discovering your sexuality with, like, if you're gay or if you're pan or if you're bi or like, you know, all these other sexual identities, it really is a different process. And so I think in the future we're gonna get somebody or some people of other sexualities to come share their experiences. I think that would be really important. But anyways, okay, so the predating phase has one essential feature, and that's like pursuit of somebody.
They're making me watch an ad to get my result. Sorry.
Yeah, the pursuit of somebody. And in this day and age, how do you pursue people? How do you find people to pursue?
You send them TikToks. I don't know.
Okay, but how do you
Slide into their DM.
how do you find that person though? How do you like, you know?
Oh no, you just like talk to people, I guess.
So you're saying like
Sorry,
you,
I'm being a little obtuse. I guess like there's like several different avenues. Like you could try to meet people in class, or you could like try and go on dating apps. I definitely think that. Well, I don't know if there's like less avenues to like meet people than in the past. I don't want to exactly make that statement, but I do think that like the structure of our, I'm getting a little too deep. The structure of our society is modeled in such a way that we're encouraged to pursue like individualism and self-sufficiency. And
Okay.
it's kind of like weird if you want to like, oh, like lean on another person, I guess.
so what does
if
that have
makes
to do
any
with like
sense.
pursuing a partner?
I guess for me, like, it's weird to like show interest in another person like without a reason, if that makes any sense.
A reason.
Yeah.
What
Like you have to have an
Okay, so we
excuse.
wanna
What would a reason be? Like,
Oh, let's study together on a test or something.
oh.
It's like a no reason hangout is what you're saying? Like you
I
wouldn't
think
do
that
it
is
no
a reason. He only does it with a reason. So
I
like,
see.
okay,
It's
wait.
like
I
you
have
have to contrive a excuse. I don't know.
wait. Okay,
And-
wait. I have a question for you then. So does that mean that like usually the people that you pursue are usually the people that you hang out with the most?
I think it's like sort of a synergistic effect. God. Okay. Anyways, like the people I pursue end up being the people I hang out the most. I don't necessarily. It's not necessarily like it's like chicken or the egg. You know. It's like I don't know exactly.
Hold up, I'm gonna pull up something I talked about with my therapist. I think it was pretty relevant. We talked about attraction a lot, and one of the things that we talked about was, where is it? Notes and feelings. No. Oh, it's called familiarity proximity, and it's basically
Yeah.
like
The exposure effect.
Yeah, so like the more you hang out with people, the like more likely you are to be attracted to them. And this comes into play a lot with celebrities. Like when you see people like play romantic interests on like Zendaya and like Tom Holland, they just naturally like end up dating because they're so familiar with each other and they're exposed to each other for so long and so frequently. You have something to say about that, Nora?
No, I just didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
I was like,
so-
oh, that kind of
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait, then I have a question for you guys. So you know there's a saying love at first sight versus like familiarity effect. So what are the kind of people that you tend to be attracted to? Because like me personally, like I am usually tend towards love at first sight. Like usually if I am with a friend, then I will usually see that person as a friend.
All right, we'll beep that out.
Cut.
Anyways, I think for me, it's a lot of first sight, meaning like as much as like I don't want to be, I'm shallow in the sense of like if I meet somebody and they're attractive, then I'll be attracted to them, like physically attractive, right? And I think there's like a baseline level to where like even if your personality is like perfect and like great, but like if you don't meet a baseline level of like physical attractiveness, then I will not have feelings for you. So like I think it always starts with this like love at first sight. But if you define love at first sight as like the like intense like like I'm gonna like marry this man or woman, then no, I don't. But if you're just talking about like attraction, then yes, I do find myself attracted at first sight to a physically attractive person.
Interesting. I'll just add a little more. Like for my love at first sight definition, I usually like those people are usually like the ones like, oh, I am like interested in dating. So if that makes sense. But yeah, continue.
Wait, could you repeat that?
It's just like my love at first sight. It's just like it's not like I want to marry this person. It's just like, oh, I am down to get to know this person more in a platonic level, if that makes sense.
Interesting. Paul, you have any thoughts?
I think the thing is that I find like a lot of people, I guess, casually attractive, if that makes any sense. But I think like personality really matters to me, in that like if I think I have a tendency to like judge people and not show it, but
I can see that. Sorry.
but like yeah, personality matters a lot, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so like, are you saying that the people that you smash would be different from the people that you would date?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Patricia and I can share for both of the romantic partners that I had. I met them both in class. So like there was no like dating apps or things like that involved. How about you, Patricia?
I met one of them from party, and he turned out to be my neighbor. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was both in person, but I think to shift gears a little bit and talk about dating apps, how many of us have been using a dating app or have used a dating app before? So yeah, all of us. All of us. Okay. So, and have you found success on a dating app?
I actually have a 2-week boyfriend prior to my serious relationship. And for him, it's very interesting because we met once. And then I was with my friends during the winter break, and then he kind of asked me out. And then my friend said yes to him for me. So like, I'm just like, I don't know. And then she was like, oh, I think you're just like avoiding, but I think you liked him. So let me say yes for you. So like, she kind of agreed. But then like during the duration of 2 weeks, I got COVID, and I refused to see him. And I found him pretty boring. Okay, he didn't follow me anymore, so it's okay. But yeah, so I found him pretty boring, so that we just broke up because we didn't have like that like much of an understanding. So I would say that is like a very stupid like first love thingy. I don't think he's my first love, but it's just that's some pretty interesting dating app story that I had.
I think the thing is that I don't like, I guess, talking to people. Like I just like swipe. I don't know. It's like after a while, like everybody blends together, I guess. And it's just like, oh, like, I don't know. I just don't like talking to people on, like, dating apps. Yeah.
Then why do you have dating apps?
Validation.
Okay, I
Fair.
will say that's true, but I find that more of like a female thing because the pool of applicants on dating apps is heavily male skewed. So I feel like females get a lot more validation than like a guy. Do you feel validation? How many likes do you get?
I'm not gonna tell you. I don't think I get many. I don't know.
So like, do you feel validation when you don't get many likes?
It's like mostly just like a thing to do, like TikTok or something. I don't know.
Wait, I would say like sometimes it doesn't matter the number, but if you see like a really hot person liking you, you will feel validated.
Is that how you
the
felt,
case
Paul?
for you?
I don't know. I think it's just like a thing to do, like a lot of the time. Like I'm just bored. I'm gonna like swipe on a bunch of people.
Yeah, I did it for fun at first. Like my friend and I would swipe through, and like, you know, on Tinder's the one I had. But like, the guys on Tinder do boomerangs, and the boomerangs are really funny because it'll just be them being like turning their head or like smoking something, and it's just like it plays over and over again, and they're like really funny. So sometimes we just swipe through and be like, oh, that's really funny, but I wouldn't say I use it for validation, but just to like say I tried it and like give it a shot. Like I'm exposing my older brother. My older brother is in a 3-year relationship. They just celebrated their 3rd year anniversary, and they met on an app. And
Which one?
Hinge, I think. I know, promo to Hinge, sponsor us. But like, it's going well for them. Like they live in the same apartment. They have 3 cats. Like they're doing their life. So I was like, maybe it does work, but. I haven't been on Tinder in like months.
I don't think Tinder is the one that you go on if you want to like date seriously, but yeah.
Okay, so for me, I have tried them all, and by them all, I'm talking Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, Coffee Meets Bagel, even some like of the like small ones, you know, Farmers Only. Just kidding. But
Christian lovers.
My friend was
No, it's actually-
people on that.
it's actually called Christian Mingle. But
Wait, Bumble's for men and women. I didn't know that.
yeah, but
I thought Bumble was for gays. I thought it was only if you wanted to meet a man. Isn't there one that's exclusively for guys?
Yeah, it's called Grinder.
Oh, there. Sorry, I got them confused. Never mind.
Grinder's a little different though because like I've been on Grinder too. Just
Because Grinder's business only, isn't it? Like they only do like it's like neck down photos and then like inch length and like and they're like.
Yeah, exactly. So like on Grinder, what happens is it's just like a bunch of shirtless guys like showing their schlongs, and then you have like the length, and then you have top or bottom, and like that's it.
Good for that.
Yeah. So like try them all. I feel like it's shallow enough to the point where like I get insta filtered out. Maybe it's my height. Maybe it's my appearance. But like I feel like I don't even make it to the stage where like you get to like talk to them.
Wait, Grinder?
No. Grinder. Grinder is easy as heck. Like if you go on there, you will get like 10 likes instantly. Like within the first minute of you creating your profile.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's your validation. Am I right? No, wait, but does height matter to you?
No, like I'm perfectly fine with like a taller woman, but I feel like the women are not okay with like I had a friend who was like 5'2", and she was like, I can't be with somebody below 6 foot. I was like, you're 5'2". You do not need no 6 foot man. But
Yeah, I think I'm less of a stickler for height than the average girl. I know a lot of girls are like 6 foot and above only. Like, but I would date somebody who's like around my height. But I don't think I would date somebody shorter than me. Yeah, I will say.
Same. I'm 5'6", but I usually would date people above 5'10".
I think like I do prefer someone who's like a little shorter than me, but it's not like a hard requirement, I guess.
Yeah, but I really do think I get filtered out. So I should lie about my height and see.
Well, I feel like for guys, if they get a girl who's taller than them, it's kind of a win for them. But it feels like sometimes for girls, if you date somebody who's shorter than you, people will like be like, girl, like that's kind of crazy.
Like height literally has like it doesn't matter to me like at all. Like I like I like I like the 4'9" girl. I like she wasn't 6 foot, I think, but she was like definitely like 3 inches taller than me. So like it's 5'10" maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I do feel like I get filtered out by dating apps. And Paul, how's your experience like on like do you feel like how tall are you first?
Like 5'8", I think.
Do you feel like that's like the cutoff?
70 centimeters.
All right, when you're on dating apps, Patricia, what do you set your height preference to be?
I can't. I'm not a Prime member, so I just swipe left.
I also don't set height preference.
Like 5'9", I would say it's okay if they have great personalities, but it's just because I'm like 5'6", so I prefer someone slightly taller.
I see.
I'm 5'6.5", so 7 and up.
Wait, I thought there were height preference, like you could set your height preference.
No, I think you have to buy like gold or premium or whatever for all of those.
I see. Okay, well then I don't get filtered out. I get manually filtered out then.
Yeah, I think they probably went through and were like, oh, and then,
Okay, well anyways, yeah, so I just find that interesting in terms of like, what do you look for? Like Paul, I guess we can give the guy's perspective of what we look for on dating apps, and then Nora and Patricia can give
as in qualities or types of relationship.
No, I'm talking about like on the dating app. What makes you swipe on somebody?
Oh,
okay.
just
Qualities.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Paul, girls want to go first, or?
I guess.
I'm down.
Okay. So me and Paul will share first.
Do you want to?
Me?
Oh, specifically on dating apps, I think just like appearance. That's it. That's literally it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. It's so easy to like swipe. Like why read? Like I spend enough time reading. Like I literally spend hours and hours a day reading. Like I just want like
nerd.
I don't care. Like yeah.
I think honestly like that's most guys. Like I think there's definitely a heavy emphasis on appearance. But I will say for me personally, if they're too hot, I reject myself. So like if they're a 9 or a 10, I reject myself and I swipe left on them. But if they're like an 8 to a I mean, okay. First of all, I don't know why we're quantifying appearance, right? Like obviously like, this is not, good, but like for the sake of me and Paul's, preferences, yeah, like it really is like if they're in a certain range, then I will swipe right on them, and then if they're below that, then I will swipe left on them again. So like there really is like this like range of like how attractive someone is, where like you will swipe right on them. Paul, is that the same for you?
I don't have like a system like that, I guess, but I just go by vibes, I guess. If she looks interesting, then sure. If she doesn't, then goodbye. Is that
So like
to say?
no, so like if there's like a 10, like you know, like super attractive person, you swiping right on that or left?
I mean, it literally costs me nothing, right?
Okay, but here's the thing: on Hinge, you have like 6 free likes, and like, is she gonna like you back?
Oh, on Hinge? I don't go on Hinge too much.
All right, so
Or
what's
like I didn't go on Hinge too much.
what's your app of choice?
Oh, back in the day, I went on Tinder.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's different. Okay. Yeah. How about you guys? Nora, you have anything you want to say about our what we look for?
Oh, I don't know. Like the auto reject thing, I think I had a thought about it earlier and then I forgot it but like, I don't know. I also tend to like auto reject myself from certain things because like even if like in person, if a super attractive guy came up to me and was like, "I like you. I think you're the most beautiful woman in the world. Like I want to date you." I would assume it was a joke or like a prank of some kind, and that it was like some lie or some scam, like that somebody was trying to pull. I'd be like, "Wow, who sent you?" like I don't understand. Like, go away. I don't know. Yeah, I just like it feels fake. If you're too beautiful.
I don't agree with that at all. If somebody super attractive came up to me in person, that's you know.
Yeah, no. Even if you came up to me in person, and like especially like if I didn't know you, like especially and you came up to you're in my class, like I've been looking at you in the lecture hall, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, who put you up to this? Cough up the $5. You're not getting me, bro."
Interesting. How about you, Patricia?
For me, okay, appearance obviously, and then I think I wasn't looking for too much. I think I'm looking more for like open-mindedness. It's just whether I can vibe with this person. I would say like I myself has a lot of interest, so I wouldn't say it's hard for people to like hang out with me or like be friends with me. So I usually go for like an open mind. It's just like I usually swipe to make friends. It would be good if it becomes a romantic relationship, but that's probably why like a lot of times like
She's one of those.
it didn't.
What?
She's one of those people who are on dating apps to look for friends.
That's my
Yeah.
roommate.
No, I've been in like several like dates ish in which we just talk about mutual friends all the time. Like, yeah, but anyways, it's just like I'm just like there to like I just want to see if this person is like not too judgmental. Like if they do a certain sports or if they go to gym, those are some common interests. I'll be like, oh, like fellow gym bro or whatever. Just yeah.
So like it's just like if they're Republican, you swipe left.
Oh, I
mean,
would
if they
say-
talk a lot about like political stance and stuff, yeah, I will swipe left.
I will say that certain political allegiances would turn me off. Like if you like thought a certain way and like certain issues I care heavily about, and if you thought the opposite of me or like we would fight about it. Like I'd be like, okay, bye.
For me, it's slightly different. I feel like okay, so obviously, dating app profiles are the first thing that people see. But if you choose to have political stances as the first thing that people see about you, I think that says something about you. It just says that you're incredibly judgmental. Like that might be a little like discriminatory, but that is just what I think.
I would
Like I can eventually learn about your thought, but I don't want it to be the first thing I know about.
Oh
you.
yeah, no, I think I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm putting this like out there, but I definitely think that like when the conversation came up and like it became an issue, like it would be an issue enough for me to like not want to continue to see you.
I feel the same way about so like I'm Christian, right? But like okay, so like if people like put atheists on the profile, I know they're super atheists, you know, because you can most people like don't put their like religion like stance on there, right?
Would you like cross state religions as a Christian? Like would you go for like someone who's Catholic? Is that okay for you?
So like, you know, in traditional Christian, like, you know, the stance is like no, like you have to date somebody within your religion. I don't know. I've never thought too much about it because like for me, like a dating app is not like serious, right? Like if it gets to that point, I'll think about it then. But like I'm not gonna like filter somebody out based on religion, just you know like from the dating app standpoint.
Wait, but so later on, if it was becoming more serious, you would count somebody out based on their religion?
I never made it that far.
Okay, so let's get hypothetical. It's the hypothetical.
Okay, so we're talking like a or like a.
Oh, that's another.
Cut. Censor name. Editor's note.
I don't know. Like it had to depend. Like I feel like it's too personal to tell off of like a generic example.
Well, okay.
Okay, from what I heard so far, I feel like he is more like a enjoy the present type, which I sort of agree. It's just like, like there's no way this person you're dating right now is going to be your husband like 100%. So, like, might as well just like see several people and just like go on some fun dates and just like see how it goes. And if not, you get some experience and then you can move on to the next one. So like I agree to the extent like you don't have to think about that much as of now.
Yeah, I feel like all of my relationships I try really hard to like heavily commit to. So I have like a lot of trouble with the idea of like going out with somebody for fun and that's it. Like it's not that I like disagree with it or think it's like a bad thing necessarily, but like for me, like I just like I think I get attached to people and then like I don't want to let go of any friendship or like relationship or anything like that whenever I can.
How about you, Paul? You have any thoughts?
I feel like I feel bad doing something casually, in that like if I'm seeing a person, they deserve my full attention, you know.
They're getting your full attention for that one date.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just feels
That's not the same.
just feels kind of half-assed. You know?
Okay. So like, can you only date one person at a time on a dating app? Like, you're only gonna talk to one person at a time?
But that's different. That's a dating app. Like literally, you could do anything on a dating app.
That's how I've done it.
That's wild.
Whoever swiped on me first, and then I'd like chat, and then if I didn't like it, then it'd be like done, and then okay, I'll try the next person.
That's wild.
I don't really have a defense. That's just like I felt awkward talking to multiple people. I felt rude.
It's kind of exhausting too.
Yeah.
Like you have to maintain like multiple streams of conversation in your head.
Okay. Anyways, okay. So now I want to add the racial component into this.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. So I found this study. It was on like a Facebook dating, which has an older demographic. So like not like young people, but it was like roughly, I think it was like 35 up. But anyways, they found that for every racial group, on the men's side, every racial group of men liked Asian women the most, except for Asian men. Asian men liked Latino women the most, and and then in terms of the least, every group, the least was black women, and then on the other side, for women to men, every group of women went for white men most, except for black women who went for black men the most. And then on the other side of that, every racial group had Asian men as the least. Yes. So knowing that study, even though the age is like a little bit older, you guys have any thoughts about that?
I feel like it might change eventually because of like the rise of K-pop, for example. Because I feel like Asian men grew a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Got a lot of more attention
Yeah.
after that.
My brother, after BTS got cool, he was like, hell yeah, I'm going to stand outside concerts. I'm with bad girls from now on. He was like, I got this. I mean, he was like kidding, but like that became kind of like the joke. Like people were like, oh, like good for you. Like it's cool to be Asian.
So like I guess like, but like, what does it say about the Asian woman experience that like knowing that on dating apps, or at least from this study, like you were like I guess always desirable, and I guess K-pop can only boost that. I don't think K-pop is gonna like lower that.
I think K-pop might actually create an unrealistic expectation of Asian women, because there are so many Asian women outside of this East Asia pale like done up idea of Asian women who like sing and dance and do all of this perfectly manicured stuff. Like there are South Asian women, Southeastern Asian women, Pacific Islander women that are also all follow under that Asian umbrella. I don't think the East Asian movement is necessarily good for all Asian women. Like, yeah.
You have any thoughts?
regarding which topic? Sorry.
Anything that I just shared about the study.
I guess like regarding Asian men, I think I agree with Pado in that like representation is like a majority of it. I feel like people tend to like. I think this is a little bit of a stretch, but I think people tend to like see people on like TV or whatever media they consume and be like, oh, that guy's attractive. And then like that's why like they're attracted to like a particular archetype of people, I guess. And like that Asian men haven't been super duper represented on, I guess, many forms of media is why the results of your study are the way that they are. Regarding Asian women, I think like I do agree with Nora too, in that like
Wait, let's pause there and tie that back into sexuality and discovering sexuality. Y'all have like, you know, like who was your first like celebrity crush, or like, you know, like was it people that you saw on TV? Was it people that like your parents showed you, or like, you know, like, yeah, let's talk about that.
I think my strongest and potentially my first real fictional crush. Did you guys watch Lego Ninjago? Oh, you didn't watch Lego Paul? We're kind of in the same generation. Lego Ninjago.
No, I think I saw like 1 or 2 episodes of it. Like I know it exists.
Oh my God, Kylie.
It's interesting. I
really?
don't know.
Okay. Well, I watched Lego Ninjago with my older brother. There's like 4 color ninjas, okay? And it was Kai, Jay, Cole, and Zane. My favorite was Zane. He was the white ninja. He had white hair. He was the politest, nicest little boy. He did chores and stuff. He was the coolest. And then there was a twist episode where he found out he was an android, and I cried.
What was his ethnicity?
He was like Lego. He was yellow, but like I don't think it implied he was Asian. Wait, let me check.
Cause like I know that with like Legos, like some of the eyes on the Lego figures are pretty suggestive. I'm not gonna lie. But for me as a white girl, it was Bridget Mendler. I liked Wizards of Waverly Place, and she was Jake Russo's girlfriend, vampire. She was Juliet. She was attractive.
Oh, do you want to go? Okay, I guess for me, I can't really think of anyone, I'm not gonna lie. Because my parents didn't know like what was playing on the TV, so I watched like Family Guy and American Dad.
Me
and
too.
Like yeah, like what am I supposed to like?
No, my grandparents, we would go to their house and my grandparents would put on like American Dad and like Family Guy, and me and my brother would be like, are we supposed to watch this?
I mean it could literally be like anybody though. Like there's no limits to fictional.
Okay, I don't think
The
Zane has a
Shaw,
canon
Maniacal
ethnicity.
Baby, like there's some like Alien too. Like I don't. There's the options like are no like.
I don't think Zane gets to have a canon ethnicity. He was a robot, so like I don't think he was specifically ever gonna be. Somebody said he was kind of French, so I guess we'll say that. But
For me, it's those kind of like magical cartoons, you know, like the ones with mermaids or the ones with like magic powers. And then the male lead is usually the one who can like save the girl, or like the ones who can like do a lot of sports really good, well, like who serve, who like plays volleyball, etc. So yeah.
And then I guess that's a little different because you grew up in Taiwan. Like,
Yeah.
were they kind of like Asian-esque?
Yeah, like Japanese, like those like animation.
okay, wait.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's it. That brings us back to Paul's point about the was it Asian woman or Asian men experience?
I don't remember. I think I like that was Asian men. I think.
Okay, yeah. So like lack of representation. Yeah, lack of representation going into so like I guess if in a world where like there's equal representation, do you think that also leads to like an equal outcome of like racial preference? Because I don't think that's necessarily true.
Yeah, I think it's hard to like draw causation. I think. I don't know, like there's a lot of terms you need to define, like what do you mean by representation? Oh my god, I remember that.
Loki, she was bad as hell. I loved her.
I guess, but I thought, I don't know, she's like okay.
It says that her name's Wolney. You know, it's Xiang Yang, the wolf's wife.
Yeah, from like Hui
Yeah,
Tai Long or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
That one.
Yeah. She was fire.
She was a little bit abusive though. She
A
hit it
little
with the
bit, a lot
yeah. She like kept on,
she
like,
was physically
hitting it with the
abusive. She was
pan.
awful, but I love Queen.
Oh my
I love
god,
Queen.
no! Remember at the end where she would like use the pan and like
Yeah,
and like you would go flying.
Oh like hell yeah! Oh, my other strong crush as a child was Brock from Pokemon. I thought he was super cute and cool because he cooked.
I was gonna say something, but I'm probably gonna not say it.
I mean, go ahead.
No,
We can like
say
edit
it,
everything
judge.
in post.
Yeah.
What is Brock's ethnicity?
He's kind of. I assume he's Asian. he's from a Japanese.
Yeah,
cartoon.
everybody's Japanese,
And he's-
right?
But he got the brown hair though.
Look, his eyes have a certain implication. I'm gonna be honest.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
He's tan, and you know the way he's drawn comes with a certain implication that he's an Asian man.
That's
That's
from
odd.
Pokemon Land, you know? That's his ethnicity.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
I will say that like what was that girl, the water trainer girl? She was ginger, so I wouldn't say that they're the best indicators.
Yeah, but
of
then
race.
like in anime, like their hair is like all sorts of colors.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah,
it
but
doesn't
like
matter.
I think that ties into what you said about representation, right? Because like if that's who you're attracted to, and like if we kind of like derive some type of like racial preference based off of what you're attracted to as a child, like based off what you're shown as representation.
Oh, well then I
think it-
track. If Zayn and Brock were supposed to be Asian, then I track. I like Asians.
I don't know, but it's just an interesting thought off what Paul said about the.
So then,
his
do
take
you
on
like
Asian.
white girls more?
No.
Because you said Bridget Mendler, right? Was
Well,
that-
I think I like again that was due to like the lack of like the only Asian person on Disney Channel was Brenda Song on Sweet Life, and like she didn't she wasn't really my type.
I like the pink Power Ranger girl from my generation. She was Asian. She was cool.
Yeah, but like I just didn't have that many figures to like look up to in terms of, or not look up to, but like to like in terms of like Asian people in media, you know. Yeah. Shout out Cheng, even though like she's like the most like stereotypical like Asian person ever.
I didn't like Cho Cheng, but
Nah, imagine having two last names from two different countries as your first name.
oh, I forgot.
Let's go back to Paul's point about you're gonna make a point about Asian women.
Oh, yeah, no, I have no points. I was just agreeing with Nora. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily, I guess, to reiterate, I don't think it's necessarily, like, very helpful, like, because the beauty standards are, like, very, very, I think, unattainable. And I don't think it's exactly healthy showing these unattainable standards on, like, TikTok to, like, millions and millions of impressionable kids. I think it leaves a lot of people, like, feeling alienated when they don't, like, conform to that standard. And I think it like perpetuates a false stereotype of like I guess East Asian people as a specific like of having a specific look. And I don't know, I just think it's like not very good.
Yeah, I think like it also. Have you seen the trend on TikTok where people were RCTA, like race change to another is what that stood for?
Oh my god,
Like,
did you guys see
yeah,
that like thing
like-
on Twitter? What that guy just keeps like swapping people like, oh, you're like either black or Chinese.
Oh,
Like that shit's so
I've
fucking
seen
funny.
that. I've seen, but that guy's funny. But these people are kind of serious, and it's kind of scary. Where like
Oh,
people
wait,
are
what?
like, where like some like people online like are like generally like trying to think that they can manifest into being East Asian.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. I think that's kind of funny too.
I mean, it depends on how serious they're being. Some of these people are like actually trying to be serious, and it feels like it just becomes a commodification. Like you just commodify your own self and your culture, and like that's not very.
I have a question. Is this mostly women?
I think it is mostly girls.
Is it exclusively women or is it mostly women?
I would say it. I didn't pay much attention to it. I think it's mostly women because you're just trying to fit into the new beauty standard, right? Of like what's hot now. Asian girls back in the day tried to be white, and now white girls are trying to be Asian, right? Because whoever's most hot.
I have some thoughts about that, but I mean, I'll let Pato talk
Oh.
if Pato wants to. Okay, okay.
I don't have anything to contribute.
Like I think it ties back into like I think there's this historic hypersexualization of like Asian women. I think that comes a lot from like movies. Like I'm thinking about the like like in rap songs they always have like the like love you long time like thing like from the with the Asian accent. That comes from like a Chinese prostitute from a movie, right? And like I think like a lot of like early depictions of Asian women, especially in American media, was like these massage prostitutes and like these types of people. And I think like the other thing is like Asian people are viewed as submissive, and then that ties into Asian women like being submissive, which led to like a lot of like, oh, like I want myself a submissive wife. I want like a wife who's gonna do everything. So like, oh, I like Asian people. And I think that like that led to a lot of hypersexualization for Asian women. And at the same time, if you view like Asian men as like passive, and if you view Asian men as submissive, then you're like, oh, this guy's like weak, he's not a man or whatever. However you quantify that. So I think like those Asian stereotypes have led into like both the like emasculation of Asian men and also the hypersexualization of Asian women.
Wait, I would say I agree with like all the points that you mentioned, because like we're saying that our world is getting more globalized, people are more equal, but there are just some certain like stereotypes of certain races of people, and I think this part about Asian people are not yet changed so far.
Definitely.
Yeah, and like, you know, I so like I don't know if this is a hot take, but like I think stereotypes like do come from some type of truth, and I feel like especially like if you look at like Confucian values, one of the values is like this like not so much like passivity, but like a deference to like authority, or like a deference to like a certain authority, like a certain figure, and that often leads itself to like silence or things like that, right? Or like conformity, and not to say that those things are like bad, right? Like not to like glorify American values, but I think these stereotypes come from somewhere, and then because like some people fit into that role, like it leads to like this belief that everybody fits into that role, which is where the detriment comes in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any like disagreements for that.
Yeah. So okay, yeah. So we talked about and now we talked about that, and let's talk about like fetishization and Asian fever.
Oh.
Yeah. So like have you guys ever been like pursued by anybody who's like exclusively dating Asians?
Okay, I might actually have something to say for once. The thing that made me hesitate over saying I've been in 0 relationships is that in my freshman year of high school, my best friend in middle school was a guy, and I asked him out actually, and we started dating, and then I sort of dating. It was completely online. We weren't during COVID era too. Like it was very nothing, but like, we would talk about like our future, and then he would be like, let's like move to China together, like I want to live in China with you, and I'd be like, yo, bestie, you know that like I barely speak any Chinese, right? Like you know that I'm like eagle in my veins, like bestie, I was born in America, like I couldn't go back there, and you know that it like kind of sucks over there, right?
What was his ethnicity?
German American.
White.
Yes. Very.
Pato?
But he was 6'3".
In middle school?
No. Okay, he was 6 foot in middle school, and then by the time he was German, bro. Like German people are tall, but yeah, like he was tall. He was cool.
Pato, you have any experiences being pursued by men of other ethnicities who only exclusively date Asian women?
Yeah, but I don't usually reply to messages, so I only remember like one guy on top of my head that I met from a party. Yeah, he volunteered to tutor me organic chemistry.
Shout out him. Paul?
Yeah, I don't really remember. Well, yeah, no.
I think it happens to girls more than it does to guys, though. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that ties into what we just said about.
But I think now with the rise of K-pop, girls would go after guys because they have an idealized version of the Asian man too. Like.
Okay, I'm gonna keep this super vague, because this involves people that isn't me, but I know one girl who. So first of all, this is a community where there's very few Asians, and she's really into K-pop. She's not Asian, and she dated the one Asian guy from that area, and he's Filipino. So like, I think that it might be because of K-pop, where like she's just like, oh, Asian guys, and the only Asian guy in the area was this Filipino guy. So I think that's how they ended up dating. But I just found that really interesting because I guess it's happening to guys now too.
My brother's girlfriend is into K-pop.
and is she Asian?
Part? I think she's a quarter actually. I don't know very much.
Interesting. Yeah, but
Sorry guys if you're listening to this.
anyways, yeah, so like I guess talking about like yellow fever, I had an interesting question. Do you think like Asian people can have yellow fever?
Yes. Or okay, wait. Well, maybe it's not yellow fever in that traditional way of like, but I think Asian people can like have that sort of preference for other Asian people.
Yeah, but I don't think that's like.
But I don't think it's the same way. And like maybe like I think that fetishization of like old Asian ideals about Asian women, like I think that is possible where you like are searching for that ideal Asian wife for yourself that often shows up in other like in like white people and with Asian people or like other races with Asian people, right? I feel like Asians can also have that idea for themselves, right?
I think I can speak because I am one of them. Like I think I choose usually only to date Asian men. I don't think I've been on dates with people other than Asians. And probably because I grew up in Taiwan, so I just feel comfortable more surrounding myself in Asian people. Not like I don't have people in other ethnicities, but I think it just like slowly grew into like my preference in dating being like Asian people. And then I think also partly like my parents aren't super fluent in English, so I guess it's just like partly I want my partner to at least be able to communicate with my parents. Yeah.
So how would you separate that? How would you separate that from an Asian who has yellow fever? Like.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. Like in
Yeah.
my mind, yellow fever is like fetishization almost, right? Like this is just like a preference based on like your your situation.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So in that case, like I guess anybody could have that fetishization, whether they're Asian or not. But so we're classifying yellow fever as not just having an exclusive preference for Asian people, but like having that fetishized perspective of Asian people and only wanting to date people because of that.
Yeah, which I think is possible, you know?
Yeah, I can see an Asian person having that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like my question to you would be like, what do you mean by fetishized?
Like the, traditional housewife, who's like cooking meals. And
So like having a very stereotyped understanding of Asian people and pursuing them for that reason.
Yeah, which ties into the hypersexualization, right? Because like they want this submissive wife, I think.
I mean, yeah, I guess in that case, like it's possible, but I think like the line is pretty fine between like being attracted to Asian people and having a fetishization of them, I think.
I mean, yeah, and I think when it's Asian on Asian, that blurs a lot too. Like there's definitely like, I mean, if it's Asian on Asian, like a lot of people will be like, oh, does it really count, right? Like, yeah, so it's definitely difficult. We'll address it in dating part 2, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think for myself, I mean, both of the relationships that I had, one of them she's Indonesian, but she's Chinese Indonesian. She was international though, so like she was an international like from Indonesia, and the other one was half white, half Japanese, but like culturally she was white, just because like Japanese multiple generations in America. So I mean, do I have a type? Probably. I don't know like why, because it's not like Pado, where like it's like I want them to be able to speak to my like parents, because my mom's an English teacher, right? It's like she yeah. So like I don't know what it is. Maybe we need to psychoanalyze,
I think maybe the reason I might prefer like Asian guys over white guys is because I feel like they'd understand like my perspectives better, because I think lots of Asians and Asian Americans tend to hold the same values around like family, friends, your relationship, how you like want to live your life, like what you're doing with your future, right? Like, and so they would understand the reason why I would do certain things. Like you know how like lots of Asians will like have their like parents live in the home with them as they get older, but that's like completely uncommon, I feel like, for like white families, right? Like there's a separation. Like you don't have a lot of multi-generational households when it comes to white people. But once my parents get older, like I would want my partner to have like my parents live with me, because I would want to take care of them myself in a way that like a nursing home I feel like couldn't do for my family, right? And I feel like someone who isn't Asian or even like just a POC in general would understand that.
I can see that, because like I think cultural differences was the reason why I broke up with both of my like partners. It was the other way around, actually. Like I felt more American and she was like very international. So like there was that. But I think there is something to be said about having like shared cultural values.
Yeah, I would even say it extends, like I would rather date an Asian American than like an international Asian guy for some of those reasons too.
Yes. Have any thoughts, Paul, Patricia?
becoming the Ethan and Nora show, bro.
All right. Well, I think, yeah, I think I can touch a little bit on, like the class dating experience. Do you guys prefer to like be friends with somebody that you consider a romantic partner first?
Yeah, I think that's like the only way I think I've ever really liked somebody is when we were friends first, and then like I knew I could like be myself around you, and then
Yeah, I think I agree with Nora. I like I need to like get to know a person first before like I'm attracted to them, I guess.
I think this is where like I differ, because I feel like the dating process is the get to know you process. So I will say both of the relationships I had, the first one we started dating within a week of meeting each other, and then the second one we started dating a week after we met each other, and then the second one or the first one was within a month of meeting each other.
I would say like I am agreeing with Ethan's stance, but not for the same reason. It's because like usually I have a tendency to like meet a lot of people, but then I usually like people would say friend zone, but I like see people as friends just because I don't want to like show interest to them and make them feel uncomfortable if they don't like me back. So like I feel like if I am dating someone, I might just go to a dating app because at least I know that person is interested in me for sure.
yeah.
It's just like for me, like I prioritize like friendship harmony over like my personal like interest in dating.
No,
So
yeah.
sometimes I couldn't really tell if this person is showing interest or this person is just being friendly, and like they couldn't really tell from me as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like if it was like somebody like I'd known for a long time, if I started developing feelings, like if we had like a 5-year friendship, I probably would just try and like shut that down because you don't want to lose something like that.
Yeah, I can speak about that. There was a girl I've known since middle school, 8th grade middle school, and then senior year, she rejected me, and that was really tough because guess what? She went to my college.
Oh.
So I thought yeah, and just saying I committed first, so she followed me. But anyways, it was like, yeah, we didn't talk to each other for the freshman year of college, but then we made up, I made up because she was like still nice to me, but like I couldn't handle like seeing her after being rejected by her. So it took it like around a year, but after a year, and now we're like good friends again. But there was that time, like where like we've known each other since 8th grade, and like she rejected me, and like I just felt terrible. So like I couldn't continue like being a friend to her for like a year.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with like, cause the person I dated, quote unquote, was like my middle school best friend, and we had like a really great friendship. Like I really like valued that. And then after that, we like separated. Like we didn't talk again anymore, and I was really sad about that for a long time, and I was like really guilty over how it like ended, and I was like, this is like really sad. Like, so kind of sucks to date somebody who's a good friend.
Yeah, so that's why you just date them off the jump, and then you don't have to worry about that.
No, that's still a loss either way, in my opinion. Like if I don't know.
No, but you're not friends with them, so like if you break up,
How can you date somebody you're not friends with? Like I argue there's a certain level of like comfortability I need to have with you in order to date you. Like I don't understand.
I think it takes like a lot more to put yourself out there to someone who like you've just met, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, you know what it is? Maybe it's just like ooga booga monkey brain. This girl is attractive. Let's date.
But then it doesn't happen to Paul. Sorry, the mic got really close to me. But that doesn't happen for Paul, right? Like, so
How does that happen to you?
I mean, I find a lot of people casually attractive.
yeah, I agree.
But
They're,
like, I'm
like-
not gonna like just go and like walk up. Hey, let's date. You know?
Yeah,
it's-
like there's like like no, I don't know. I just can't.
I don't think it's that process. It's just like rather than like hanging out in groups, for example, you know how like if you meet a new friend, you'll invite them to like the friends hangout. Rather than
Yeah.
instead of that, when you're seeing someone you're interested, you hang out with them one on one. So
Yeah.
like
Hell no. Did not think that was a date. And that was one-on-one for 8 hours. We went drinking together. And she was like, that wasn't a date. I thought we were just hanging out one-on-one casually as friends.
no, but it's just like we're talking about romantic and friend interests. Like it doesn't have to be like mutual.
Yeah, but like, how did she not think that was a date is my question.
I mean, that's why I think it's hard to date somebody who's like your friend because like if you're like too comfortable, you'll never see it as romantic, right? But like
And then you hang out all the time one-on-one. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I do feel like the majority of my hangouts are like one-on-one, especially like this quarter.
Okay, so like how do you differentiate that from like oh I'm interested in this person. Let me ask them out casually, like you know, like not like ask them out formally, but like hang out with them one-on-one. Isn't that the same as just you hang out with a friend? Like what's different about the romantic interest and the friend?
I think those are just comparing to the baseline. It's just like, if you think that person is treating you differently, then you know. Yeah, so it
I treated differently, she didn't care.
It's okay. I think I lack experience in this department, I will say. You know, like I don't really have a lot of like male friends or opposite gender friends, right, that like I hang out with. Nobody that I would hang out with like solo. Like I almost never hang out with people just one-on-one. So it's like I don't know if I know, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just like a lot of times, like if you know this person is very passive and he doesn't really initiate hangouts, and then he asks you to get dinner like 3 times a week, then you know something's probably up. Like you're either very, very like easy to talk to, or like he's interested in you, or like he wants something from you.
I think you could only tell if they pay.
If they pay?
If they pay on the meal.
I pay for your meals.
Damn, Nora's into
I
me.
also pay for your meal at feast, bro. Shut the...
Alright, so Pato and Nora are into me. Sorry, you know.
No. I would like to make the very clear statement, no.
Paul, you have any thoughts about that? You pay for people on dates?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You feel like it's expected?
Yeah, well, I think it's expected to be, well, I think there was like a thing, like, oh, like the girl should offer, but the guy should do it, or whatever.
On a date or in a relationship?
Like on a date.
First date only, or like all the dates?
I think like it's a case by case like thing, right? Like it's just the dynamic of the relationship. But generally I think like the guy should do it, yeah.
All the time?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Paul's not a feminist. JK.
Alright, sorry. I kind of like
I-
do that the same too, though. It's
A
no.
guy all the time?
No, I use that to differentiate, or more like.
I believe
Yeah.
in splitting the bill or the guy paying. I will say, as somebody, I like, you know, it's kind of like a gentlemanly thing to do. I think, like,
I use that to differentiate. Like,
But, like,
it's perfectly fine if the person pays, like we split. Then I'll
Yeah.
just be like, oh, like this person sees me as a friend. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But if that person pays, then I'll see. Oh, maybe this
Yeah.
person's interested. Like maybe.
Okay, well,
we'll see
what
how
if
it
they
goes.
pay one time and then the other time they split? Like, is it like, oh, like they had interest in me but they lost it? Or like, is it like, oh, like, you know?
Well, it's not, oh, sorry. Well, it's not like a cause and effect like thing, right? Like
Yeah.
you look at a situation in its like holistic, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, it's some words.
vocab.
And like you like judge from there, right?
I think, okay, so I think if you expect the guy to pay every single time, that's such an unrealistic expectation. Because, like, no guy, unless he's, like, stacked rich, can even afford to pay, like, for the girl every single time they go out.
I mean, I do agree.
Yeah, my
but
man has to have 19p, guys. No.
No, not even meal plans, because meal plans are, like, set. You know, like, I'm talking about, like, you go out, you know, like, you go to, like, Nobu or whatever, you know. Yeah, like, he's paying for that.
Okay, for me, I would say like if it's students, it's understandable if we split. But if there's a person currently working, and if he's interested in me, if he didn't pay because he knows that I am not working, if he didn't pay, that I guess we're just friends.
You know, I do think paying expresses like an interest and interest like I appreciate. Because my brother, I think for him and his girlfriends, it's not. He said 6-month anniversary. I was like, liar. That's anniversary says annual on it. Okay, get your root right. It's not even annual. He took her out to Nobu, I'm pretty sure, nice sushi date, and he did pay for their dinner. And he doesn't. He has to go ask my mom for that money, I think.
Wait, okay, all right.
And like, but like, I think that symbolized like the kind of interest like that says a lot that he wanted to do that for her, right? Like,
No. Here's my thing. Like on the first date, sure. On the anniversary, like a special time, sure. But every time, like on the third date. Damn, Pato.
yeah, every time. If you're paying for it every time, you definitely like me. But like,
Yeah, but okay. So how come it's not the girl pays for the guy? And I'm like, oh, dang, she likes me.
I would do that.
You would do that for a guy you liked?
If I really, really liked him, I would probably do it like a couple times.
Would
I
you,
mean,
Pato?
some people do be
The
arguing.
person I dated, I asked him out, or the person I dated, I asked him out. Like, I'm not opposed to like making a move, but like, it's just like,
it's just expected that the guy pays, and like we're just accepting that.
Some people do argue that like it's usually the people who ask for the date that should pay because you're technically using that other person's time. And for me, like if the guy paid for the dinner, for example, I would pay for the dessert. Or
Yeah,
the boba.
same.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so transactional though. Like you I'm not paying for somebody's time, because if it's a relationship or if it's a date, then it should be mutual. Like it should be like we're enjoying each other's time, right? So the time aspect shouldn't be something that is factored in. All right, you know what? Let's talk about so.
Oh, okay, let's go. Let's
No,
go.
no, we're done with the episode.
All right. Dating part 2 next week.